Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we're going to do some news headlines and talk about some of these news headlines, including the 140,000 vehicle recall from Chevrolet over the Bolt. It's good. You're going to like it. We've got also the In Wheel Time Car Clinic. What are you going to do in the car clinic?
Well, I had two things set up. One is the most recalled cars in 2022.
Well, that would fold right into this story.
Okay, and then the other was car sales by brand.
Dovetailed.
Who's up and who's down.
Blended, married into
All
it.
right, so we're going to do that. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zeke, and I'm Don Armstrong. Hey, thanks for joining us on this New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve.
Yep.
You know, the last show of 2022.
This is the last show of
Hurrah.
2022. Hurrah, hurrah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. So we're going to talk about these things that I teased. I was thinking my mind was going 1,000 miles an hour there.
You're such a tease.
I am.
Are you leaving early?
Who, me?
Well, he's already left.
He's
Are
looking
you
at the
kidding?
door. I was looking at the door.
No. I was checking their sound. Doing our...
Doing our sound check?
Yep.
We're still on the air?
Yep.
Doing the
amazing.
sound check at 2.5 hours into the show.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have any sound. Now what? What was that TV show? Max Headroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max Headroom. Yes, I remember that. Gosh, that was back 80s?
Mm-hmm.
80s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
General Motors said Tuesday it's recalling 140,000 Chevrolet Bolt EVs in North America because, drum roll please,
a thermal event.
because the carpet could catch fire after a crash where a front seat belt pretensioner deploys.
Just do carpet delete. They won't catch fire.
Well, then it would be the rubber mats that would catch fire and melt and burn your feet.
For people who don't know what a seatbelt pretensioner is, it is when you lock your seatbelt into the connector on the floor, a pretensioner has a little blast charge in it like an airbag does. So as the vehicle impacts, it fires and pulls the seatbelt tight on you.
It deploys it and pulls it. Yeah.
So pulls it tight by probably about 1.5 inches, 2, maybe even 3 inches.
You know,
so there is a little bit of an exhaust from the explosion. And I guess that's catching the carpet on fire.
And I used to, in the back of my vehicle, lock the seat belts, the rear in the second row.
Kathy like that?
And my son said, don't do that, Dad, because of that pretensioner. Because if you do get it, they'll all go off. So, and that's quite expensive. So
We don't have that in a helicopter. No.
Yeah, seat belts.
We got seat belts and shoulder harnesses.
I'm not real sure what they're there for because
If it goes down, it ain't good. U.S. automaker said the recall covers various 2017 through 2023 model year Chevrolet Bolt EV vehicles due to rare instances of front seatbelt pretensioner exhaust gases coming in contact with floor carpeting fibers after a vehicle crash which could cause a fire. Okay.
After the crash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. McLaren. You have a McLaren, don't you there, Mars?
Well, I had to get rid of it. It's
you?
just becoming a little... I mean, everybody paid attention to me when I went down the drag, and it just...
Down
it was just
the
too
drag.
much.
Yeah.
You don't take a
Dragon Main in Niederville.
Don't take a McLaren.
Do they have a
down the
main
drag
street in Niederville?
Niederville Avenue.
Nederland Avenue is the main street, but it's not called Main Street.
But it's called Nederland Avenue.
Yes. Actually, it's now called Bum Phillips Way. But they can't keep the signs because
Wait a
everybody
minute.
keeps stealing them.
BFW.
Do you mean to tell me that Bum Phillips was from Niederville?
What? He was the one that led the high school to their only state championship. His son.
Yeah.
And he coached in Port Neches, and that's where Wade graduated from.
Stupid me.
And his in-laws still
Google it.
live there.
And it had to be called Bum Phillips Way because if it was Bum Phillips Drive, it'd be BFD.
And everybody keeps stealing the signs. So Wade was actually down there. We had the 99th, I think it's 99th, meeting between Nederland and Port Neches. And since Wade grew up there and his dad coached both of them. We have the Bum Phillips Trophy that passes between the two schools, and Wade was there again this year to present that. Bum Phillips was actually there the first year that we had it.
What was his real name besides Bum?
Mr. Phillips.
Mr. Phillips.
Coach Phillips.
Coach. Yeah.
And that's our sports segment for today.
Bum. Bum Phillips. Huh.
I can't remember.
Did you ever think about that? Bum.
Short for
I
bummer.
read it once, but it just everybody. That's just what he was referred to.
Short for bummer.
Well, back to the McLaren story. They're recalling 164 vehicles
Probably
of the
every
new,
one they ever made.
Yeah.
of its new Artura plug-in hybrid supercars in the U.S. for faulty nuts.
They catch fire?
These nuts.
These nuts
nuts.
on high-pressure fuel pumps can lead to a fuel leak.
In a thermal event.
Thermal event, yeah.
According to a safety recall report posted on the NHTSA website, if the nut comes loose, the seal
Which
between
nuts? These nuts?
these nuts, the seal between the end flare of the fuel pipe and the sealing cone of the pump outlet may be disrupted, resulting in a fuel leak. The end flare is located near engine components, the report said. A fuel leak in the presence of heat, such as a hot engine component, can increase the risk of fire, NHTSA said. But I just thought it was a funny story in the fact that McLaren is recalling the car because of bad nuts.
These nuts.
These nuts. I have a, huh?
And it's on the fuel line that goes to the fuel pump on the engine. I mean,
Of their electric vehicle.
yeah.
There are other recalls to tell you about. I have this. Here's a story about dangling, but we'll get to that. Improperly secured side impact sensors have forced the recall of the 2021 through 2022 Ford Bronco. The passenger airbag may deploy with the child in the seat in the Chevy Equinox for 2023 and the GMC Terrain. The Mercedes-Benz S500. Now, you would think that car would be right at the top of the list, don't you think? Of really a quality car.
Doesn't matter.
It has an insufficiently attached dashboard.
What?
So here you go driving down the street, and all of a sudden the dashboard falls in your lap. How'd that be?
Expensive to fix.
Yeah, and probably painful because those things weigh a lot. Mercedes-Benz also has other issues with the AMG GLE 53 and 63 for 2022 and the GLE 350 and 450 for 21 and 22. Loss of steering control.
You have to love our fans. Bum Phillips' name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Oail. Oil Andrew Phillips. That was his name. Thanks, Heitzman.
Oil.
Jeffrey, good. Thank you.
There's more. Rear axle differential housing may crack and break on the Mercedes-Benz AMG G63.
Oh, that's not a good day.
It's not, and that is an extremely expensive vehicle.
How is the rear axle housing going to break or crack?
When you're banging on it,
Yeah.
running it hard.
Center console may open in a crash in the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT 63 and 53.
Who cares?
That's one of my concerns is the console is going to open up.
Now, here's something that I thought was rather odd. The Hyundai Kona Electric for 2021 is being recalled because of a coolant leak in the EPCU that may cause a loss of drive power.
Electronic power control
Yeah.
unit. So all EVs have a cooling system on them because they have to cool not only the batteries but have to cool the motor.
So does it have actual coolant?
Yep. But it's a very specific coolant because they need to have what's called a non-conductive coolant. So they want a coolant that is not going to transfer electricity. Because in an electric motor, as it turns on and off, you have that collapse of the current field, which creates the electromagnetic pulse, the EMP. So you don't want a coolant that's going to absorb that EMP and push it somewhere else in the car.
Interesting.
Like your AM radio.
Like your AM radio. Very good, Mars. Nice tie back.
You
you actually do
thought
listen.
I was listening, yeah.
You do listen.
Wow.
Or your seatbelt tensioner.
So who was the most recalled vehicle in 2022?
Oh.
Who was the most recalled manufacturer in 2022?
I can't
Mercedes-Benz.
say- I know this.
Nope.
I know this. I can't say because I do know this.
Ford.
Yep.
I thought Ford was number 3.
No, Ford was number 1. And who was number 2?
Mercedes.
Volkswagen. Daimler Trucks, which is odd because Daimler Trucks was number 3. Chrysler FCA was number 4. I don't know who Forest River is. They were number 5. Mercedes-Benz was number 6. General Motors was number 7. Kia number 8. Hyundai number 9. Navistar number 10. Tesla number 11. And then BMW of North America is number 12.
It's interesting. 2 of those are big rigs. Forest River may
Yeah.
be one, too.
Yeah, I don't know who Forest River is, so I'm assuming
It's
it's
the guy that cleans my gutters.
Class 8. That's Forrest Gump.
Damaged tire bead on the Acura TLX for 2022. So
I did hear that, yeah.
It must have been some sort of machine that loaded the tire on the wheel.
It could be the bead itself because there's a wire or rod in that bead.
Oh.
It could be bent or damaged somehow on
When they made
production.
the
During
tire.
production.
On production.
Interesting.
Out of round. That'll do it.
I don't know how that happens. How do you have a mold that you know is round?
Defective mold.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do kind
Molds
of wear out.
out. Yeah. They do.
Well, as a matter of fact, when we took that tour of the Corolla plant over in Mississippi, they had all of those big, heavy stamps that they stamp the steel with. They said that they do wear out after all of that stamping that they're doing back there.
Well, while they're stamping, you can feel the ground shake.
Absolutely. We stood there and felt the ground shake.
yeah.
The whole plant shook when it hit. And it was amazing to see how all that worked.
How much force they use to shape that stuff.
And a good example of that is the Suburban. They didn't change that body styles, the door panels and things like that for 12 years, 14 years. So, you still got those same presses over there trying to work it so that by the time they actually did make a change in it, because my father-in-law had one, they just didn't fit as good because the molds had messed up or worn and the parts didn't fit as good.
Well, the way that Toyota did it was that they were stamping sedans at the time, so obviously 2 doors on one side of the car. And they stamped the entire side, all the surround of the doors, where they didn't tie in the fenders yet. They didn't weld those in yet. So it was just the surround around it along with the rocker panel. And that came in there as a straight piece of steel with no holes or nothing in it.
Kaboom!
And
all
this
of a
thing
sudden it
came
comes
down,
out.
yep. And then it kaboomed and made the outline of all of it. Then it moved into the next one, right next to it, and it cut the windows out.
Another kaboom.
And then they also cut the actual doors out. And that door surround with the doors went together because there are small, minuscule
Imperfections, yeah.
differences every time that thing comes down and makes that bam when it stamps it out. And so they wanted to keep the doors with the surround because that's the way it fit.
They would match.
So you wouldn't
even with
have
the
a
differences.
door that had a bigger gap on one than the other
Yeah.
one. And that was
And
pretty
that's 'cause
amazing.
they cared.
And think about this. Keeping those pieces together, unpainted, they would hang them on a rack
to the paint shop.
and off to the paint shop they would go. But it was specific to one car. Once they welded it in and started making the car, that had to stay obviously with the car.
The difference
The
in
doors.
desired quality, because when I worked with General Motors,
They didn't care.
well, they had literally, and I'm not joking about this, they had a guy on the final assembly line with a big nylon block and a heavy hammer. And if the gap was wrong, he would lay the nylon block and whack it 2 or 3 times with a heavy hammer to fix the gap. And they had measurements for what the gap was supposed to be, but
Or the tolerances of
but
go
would
and
they,
no go.
would they go in and loosen stuff up and correct it? No, they'd whack it with a hammer to make the adjustment. George Skelton says Forest River is an RV manufacturing company,
Okay.
recreational vehicle.
See, thank you, folks. Appreciate it. We
Thank you,
promise
George.
next
We
year
have
we'll
we
be
have the
better.
best fans.
We do. And a couple of them stand out. One is Jeff Heitzman, and the other is George Skelton. Yeah.
Yep.
Who I went to grade school with, and middle school and high school.
The Emmons brothers listen weekly.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Yeah. And George's family goes back a ways because his dad ran the Metropolitan Theater downtown.
Yeah, he posts stuff up about that every now
very
and
cool.
then.
Very cool stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, when we went to school together, I had no clue. You know,
Of what his dad did?
Yeah, you really didn't talk that much about what your dad did. Nobody ever asked the question. You just it was a given.
7 or 8 years old, you don't care.
See, that's different when I grew up because we were a General Motors family. The family next door were Ford. The guy across the street was Ford, and there was a Chrysler guy over here, and then there was, it was a neighborhood.
It's very common.
Yeah, a neighborhood of automobile factory workers that what your dad did, and then of course the kids get involved in it somehow as well. But yeah, down the street another General Motors guy, he worked at the tech plant, and this guy worked at this factory, and da-da-da-da-da.
Was your first job at GM?
Well, growing up, 14, 15, you'd work at burger joints and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah.
When you turned
of age,
16?
I worked at a steel mill. My first job was at a steel mill, a Great Lakes Steel. They made the steel for the doors, the safety components of an inside of door of a Chrysler. And, have got the bars and things at the windows all.
The side impact protection.
They made the steel for that. And then I got into where my dad worked for Fisher Body. And worked there for
What happened
summers.
what happened to those plants? What happened to the Fisher Body
Fisher
plant?
Body's no longer there. And that was the time where
Is there
they
something in that building now?
I think it's just vacant, a vacant lot. I think. I haven't been there in years.
Well, it's kind of
but
like Flint, Michigan is most of that's vacant.
Yeah. Well, what we did was we made from the firewall back the interior Fisher Body, the Fisher interior, and then they would ship those component or that finished doors, painted, roof, everything, radios, everything inside. They would ship that over to the Cadillac plant, and they would marry the chassis to it with the fenders and the hood and all that for the front.
So they had a jig that they married to the body to get it over there.
Yeah, it was right, on a jig, and they would take it off and then put it on. But I did the when you push a button in a glove box and the trunk popped up, that mechanism in the trunk, I put the cover on that.
Oh, wow.
And it was 3 screws with a pneumatic, and it was every third job. So you would do bing, 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 3, and then you would go sit down. And you go 1, 2. That was mine. Zing, 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 and you go sit down.
And there's 2 other guys that are doing the exact
Number
same
1
thing.
and number 2, yeah.
Doing number 1 and number 2?
Yeah, and I was doing 3.
I've never heard of 3.
I would get so bored.
So who is the
Drive me
number
up a
1?
wall.
Who's projected to be the number 1 in sales in 2022?
In car sales?
Cars and trucks.
Ford.
Yeah, we're going to say Ford.
General Motors. General Motors is projected to sell 2.25 million vehicles in 2022, which is up 2.3%. Now, this is according to Cox Automotive's forecast. And that is a 14.6 share of the market in 2021 and a 16.3 share of the market in 2022. Now, when I went to work for General Motors, we had over 50% of the market back in the 80s. They've done such a good job, they're down to 16% of the market.
In today's world, you say that they're only down to 16%. They've done
Well, the other thing is that there is no more Oldsmobile and there is no more Pontiac.
There's no more Hummer. There's no more Saab. There's quite a few of the brands.
It wasn't Saab was a
Saturn.
big mistake. Gee whiz.
Saturn, right?
Yep, Saturn.
So who was number 2 with 15.3% of the market?
Toyota.
Toyota. Ford was number 3 with 1.83 million vehicles with 13.3% of the market. Now, Ford was actually up a little bit in market share. Toyota was down a little bit in market share. Fourth is Stellantis with 11.1% of the market, and they were down 0.7% in market share, which is pretty significant. Hyundai Kia, which are a blended brand, because they share a lot of componentry.
But you know what? They managed to make their cars look different.
They do.
Yep.
Unlike General Motors, they didn't.
Yeah.
No.
And I've been seeing a lot of the Hyundai Electrics out. I have.
The
been.
Ioniq 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you going to do the car clinic?
That's kind of what I'm doing now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then so
It's not much of a clinic.
Hyundai,
I got to make
Hyundai
different
Kia
notes
was
now.
10.6% of the market. Honda, which was down 2.7%, is only 7.1% of the market. And they were from calendar year 2022 to calendar year 2021, they were actually down 24% in sales. Man. Which is huge.
Yeah.
Volkswagen was down 13% in sales for a total market of 4.3%. Subaru was down 5% in sales for a total market of 3.9%. Tesla was up 48% for a total market of 2.3, which is a lot, in considering it's just pure EV.
Well, because everybody panicked and thought that, the $5, $10 gallon of gas, the way to go is electric. Then they went out and bought all these electric cars, and they're going, might not have been the smartest thing I'd ever did.
BMW is 2.6% of the market. They were off 0.1%. Daimler was 2.5% of the market, and they were up 0.3%. Mazda was down 0.1% for 2.1% of the market. Geely, what's Geely? Isn't it a Japanese or
No, it's
Chinese car?
Geely. Fred Geely.
who does Geely? What cars do they
It's not
make?
India, is it?
I don't know. Let me look.
I think it's
Geely.
India.
They were 0.8% of the market, and then Tata was 0.5% of the market. Rivian is 0.1% of the market. And I was kind of surprised that they say Rivian in 2022 sold almost 19,000 vehicles.
Really?
I've not seen a Rivian.
I haven't
Just
either.
at
on the
the
street.
Not in a while.
no, just at the shows.
They had didn't they have a didn't
Autorama.
John have a Rivian over there at Gulf Coast Auto Shield when we were there?
That might have
He
been
did,
the only
yeah.
one I've seen on
Yeah.
the street.
We
You're
saw
right,
one at
you're right.
Autorama last year too.
And then Lucid, they said they sold 2,500 vehicles for 0% of the market.
Volvo.
Makes the
Geely.
Tata. Oh, the Geely.
Geely makes Volvos, Polestars, Proton, and Lotus.
Wow.
Oh, so that's the corporate
Not
name.
many
then.
of them. So
And the Proton.
So the market itself for 2022 is 13.86 million vehicles, off 8%, that's pretty significant
Yeah,
for
it is.
the total market to be down 8%.
Yeah.
Because you got to think it wasn't, 15, 16 when they were doing 19 million vehicles a year?
And now with the interest rates up, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, some of this, my opinion, why some of these were up and some of them were down so much was driven by inventory. This whole chip shortage. We talked about it when we went to NHRA.
Yep.
Every time we drove past that Honda store, there was nothing at that
Right,
Honda
nothing,
store.
not even used cars.
And to this day, there's still not much at that Honda store. And I think Honda may have taken the biggest blast in this, in the chip shortage. Even when you look at who was down by what, Honda was down by 33% in their car sales versus 21 versus 22.
Now, who's this survey produced by?
Cox Automotive
Yeah,
Forecast.
They're huge. Cox Automotive is huge.
Right.
So there's that, my friend.
There it is. Oop, there it is.
Oop, there it is. What are we going to do next week, Mr. Mars? Anything exciting?
Who aren't we going to talk to?
Oh, we're still working on that. We got remember the gentleman that was over in England that we talked to about.
Yes.
Cobalt,
Yeah, that we had a little problem
the
with our
resources for
communication.
EVs.
And no, the guy about the do-it-yourself, how to maintain your car. He had a book and stuff, so we got him lined up again. Now that we've got our issues resolved, Bobby Sparkman's going to join us next weekend.
Oh, that's
Cool.
right. Yeah, we're gonna
So
talk about
are we
the
going
hotline
to
tour.
get the official announcement?
Yes.
I know the date's been announced, but the route hasn't. Is
Correct.
he going to give us the route?
He's still got, when I talked to him 2 days ago, he's still got a couple of things that he's waiting to get finalized.
He needs to give us the route. You guys are going back to the same drag strip. I saw he had said that.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple of stops that are going to be the same.
The
Just
drag
because
strip was tons of fun.
well, that's what he said. So there's a couple of things that are
To interject
popular.
on your point with Bobby, that since this last road trip, it has increased, and he's getting more and more and more newcomers to his site and people that he's thanking to be on there.
The Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be a
will
monster.
Yeah, it will.
We're still kind of talking to him about trying to figure out it because it moves so much and so fast. Because that's what it is. It's a tour. Trying to figure out how we could set up some sort of broadcast to kind of get a little bit more engaged in it. And but yeah,
My guess would have to be a stop, an overnight stop somewhere, so we could talk.
So we're still kind of working on that.
And Don would need to know where they're going ahead of time, and he could get there.
I'm
Well,
going.
he's going to be
I
on
know
the
he's
tour.
going, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on my way. So I'm going, like it or not. That's just the way that it is. All right. Time now to take a quick break, and we are going to wrap up today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show right after these brief messages. So stay with us. Your friends and hosts of the quarterly Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy want to thank you for participating in this year's events and look forward to another exciting year. You'll hear about the next Tailpipes and Tacos right here and online soon. Next time you're in West Houston, be sure and stop in at the original Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex near I-10 and Highway 6, or the Katy location off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. Traveling east to Beaumont or northwest to College Station, you'll want to have Loopy's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Loopy Tortilla. Loopy founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are car people through and through. Both are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of cars that everyone appreciates. You'll see one at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The next event will be in the spring at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99, the Grand Parkway and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details soon here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. Well, that's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. When you're on Facebook, check out our page, please. Give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our junk if you would. You'll get Conrad's Unicorn hunting features all week long, along with all things automotive, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and other informative and entertaining goodies. I just threw that in there.
Yep.
You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeart Radio app. Be sure and catch In Wheel Time Car Talk on our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central Time. 30-minute podcasts are available daily over a dozen of the most popular podcast providers. In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our marketing advertising manager and video technical director is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For booking agent and podcast editor, Mr. Mike Out of This World Mars, and Mr. Know-It-All, his royalty, King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Today's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is produced by Ron Stein and the Institute of Life Experiences and Knowledge.
All right.
Be sure and join us again for the next live 3-hour In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, January 7th, 2023, beginning at 8 a.m. Central Time on all of our In-Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great New Year's weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next year. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.